Why, hello there. Do you enjoy shirts to put on your body? Custom character sheets to put in your D&D notes? Virion maps to put on your wall? Cool buttons to put on your lots of other stuff? All of the amazing merch for QPR and Goblins and Growlers can be found at Alpha Comics and Games, located in the Willow Lawn Shopping Center in Richmond, Virginia. Come check us out.
So, what I recall from the previous episode,
yes,
which released significantly more recently than we recorded it, was that we were traveling through the sewers and we found a tiny abandoned city. And then we found a pathway into a forest-like area with a little bridge over a swiftly running brook. And all of that, including the water in the brook and the fish splashing out of it, was rats.
So rat-a-tatas.
And then we were like, well, we're not going to step on any of these rats. So we jumped the creek and then... And
landed on other rats, crushing them.
No, we very carefully did not land on any rats. And then we went to a lit hallway where we heard music coming from. And as we got close, we noticed that there was a literal carpet of rats, and a mysterious voice invited us to come along and take our boots off. And
we were not going to take our boots off.
Walk on their soft carpet of rats.
Yes. It was a chorus of voices. It was several voices all speaking as one.
This is a combination of Ratatouille and the rats from Coraline, and I'm not feeling it, man.
Yeah.
I don't know that I realized that it was a chorus of voices speaking as one.
That's how the rats in Coraline do in the book.
What I do recall is that there were multiple instruments being played.
Yes.
Man, Sol and I just wanted to take Alita out on this cute little you've always wanted to do a fancy ball dancing thing, and we burned it to the ground, so I'm gonna make it up to you, and we're gonna go on this cute thing.
Kobold!
Rats!
Rats. The rats.
Now it's this horrifying Coraline adventure. No wonder Solinar and Alita were exhausted when they came back.
They were in good spirits, though.
Exactly.
So it must go well.
It must
There's
go well.
no way it doesn't go well.
Yeah, because they left the room made of rats. That's why they're in a good mood. They left the room made of rats.
Everyone else is like, how was it? And you're like, I'm glad it's over.
Glad to be home.
Damn, I've said that about dates.
Wow.
My favorite part was not having to be there anymore.
Again, I've said that about dates.
Yeah.
Aww.
Especially the one guy that tried to show me, a bunch of videos on his phone of sports.
Oh, man. I'm glad you finished that sentence.
A bunch of videos on his phone of political arguments. Actually, that's about as bad.
Oh, God.
I was going to say he was trying to show you a bunch of videos on his phone of him and his cat. And then I was like, but you'd be into that.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I wouldn't be your wife. I would have run off with that guy.
I did have an almost date with someone who was really, really interested in getting me into stocks and this was before crypto, but that kind of world, like MLMs and those kinds of things.
Had they met you before?
No. Well, no. This is why I am not a blind dater.
I think archaeologists would discourage blind dating anyway. They're way more about carbon dating.
Right.
I do enjoy a good carbon date,
guys.
I will say.
All right. Again, Gabe, not helping the millennial vampire argument.
Yes. So, back in the scene, you are surrounded by rats. There is a
yes,
light.
my favorite way dates begin.
There are several lights coming from further down this tunnel, and now that you are positioned sort of at the entrance of it. Again, you can see there are several like strings of rats kind of dangling, holding each other to create sort of like branches and vines hanging down from treetops and things like that, trunks of trees, and this meadowy grass and carpet that are lined in front of you. I will also say there does not appear to be a surface ahead of you that is not rat covered. And several of the rats that are most closest to you are just sort of like eyeing you with this not apprehension, more like curiosity.
This is rat too much for me.
Ooh. And once again, you hear the voice, friends, please come in and join me for a drink. Take your shoes off. The carpet is nice and warm beneath your toes.
Warm carpet.
Hey, so listen, I really appreciate the hospitality. I would prefer immensely if I kept my shoes on and the carpet just like parted enough for me to fit my feet.
Well, I suppose I could arrange something of that like. But, what would be your gift to your host in exchange for such personalized hospitality?
Ah, crap.
What is traditionally a suitable gift?
I am an eschewer of tradition. My court is fresh and new, as you can see with my deliciously set up digs.
Deliciously set up digs is not what I was expecting to come out of that voice.
I have with me a potion that I believe you would appreciate, as it alters your facial aesthetic to be greater than it was before.
You haven't even seen my face yet, though. How would you know that I need such a potion?
Oh, let me be very clear. This is not a potion of need. I don't anticipate that you require such a potion. It is something that I purchased for my own interests that I think perhaps you might also find interesting.
You hear a rumble, almost like tiny drums for a moment, and then you hear this flute playing. It's very piercing. And before you, the rats begin to part, and they form like those sort of brick-like edgings that people put on their pathways in houses. Like they form like those sort of arches. It's actually quite impressive how they're able to align their little humpbacks to make it happen.
As Alita is going to begin walking, she's going to kind of like bend down and be like, "Thank you very much," to the rats.
A few of them that are still in motion, aligning themselves, making room for each other. One kind of looks at you and gives a wave and a salute.
It's so cute. I love these little rats.
As you make your way down this pathway that is forming live and actively in front of you, eventually you come to a turn in the pathway, a perfect like 90-degree turn, and you see sitting at the edge of a almost like perfectly hemispherical room on a massive throne of various shiny objects that you see are
You're about to
shifting.
say rats.
Well, they're shifting just ever so slightly. To you can see that there are tiny like rat tails sticking out from underneath the shiny objects, and adorned in various other shiny objects, along with pieces of tattered clothing that are sewn together in a surprisingly aesthetic fashion. you see a massive, easily 7-foot tall, 5 or 6 headed rat. Each head has a different sort of crown slightly placed on it. And again, you hear the voices. There you are. Yes, come here, so I may look upon your faces better. And where is my potion? The hand sort of comes out.
Solinar rummages around in his pack until he can produce the Groucho Marx transformation potion.
Oh, gorgeous.
Which is how I notated this potion, which, when drunk, increases the size of the creature's nose, appears a wide-rimmed pair of glasses on their face, and they sprout a big bushy mustache underneath that.
And a cigar.
Yes.
No one knows where the cigar comes from.
The cigar is its own mystery.
They reach their arm out, which extends a bit further than you would have expected, and grips onto it. You can see that although it is very clearly a rat's hand, the nails are very, very well kept. Long, pointed spikes on the ends of each finger as it wraps around the potion, pulling it away. You feel one of the fingers like brush up against yours briefly as it just takes it, the potion from you, and it feels warm, gentle, almost soft skin. Now, what can I do for the two of you this evening?
Well, we had heard. Solinar really thinks about how much he wants to reveal about what's going on. We'd heard that a musician's instrument went missing in the above world. And so we were trying to figure out what might have happened to it. And, things tend to wash down in the gutters, so we figured this would be a quick place to come down and look for information.
Information is what you seek. Well, I propose an exchange for you all, as folks from the city above, I anticipate,
yes,
are aware, as you said, many of your belongings, most often the things you wanted least, make their way down here into my new kingdom. So I do know things. We do know many things. Just like one of the heads specifically turns and you see it talk solo. I know you, Solinar.
Sorry, who? What?
I've seen your face before, many times.
Why? I mean, how? What?
You were a bit of a rat in your past. So, of course.
Interesting use of the past tense.
Thank you.
I don't know what you're trying to say, Alita. But to you, what? How should we regard you?
Why, I am the Rat King.
Ah, yes, of course.
Once known as the King of Rats, but that is such a simple title. I've made my way here, a new kingdom, a new place to belong, to rule, and to know.
You keep saying that this is a new kingdom for you. So you didn't spend a lot of time here early on. Just the one head of you?
Yes, we are. Together, we share the findings of all of our family.
Oh. Like, Solinar can, like, hardly conceal a look of, like, sheer horror at the concept of rats as a community knowing things.
Alita's so used to trees that this does not bother her. She's not entirely certain what Solinar's so up in arms about.
The Solinar, as you kind of like glance around, you do notice that there are lots of rat eyes that are looking upon you at this moment, which is not new since you've walked into this area, as all the rats have been staring at you, but you notice a little bit more now as they kind of glint in the light, which both of you at that noticing will, I guess you will see the light sources. There are two from the ceiling reaching down. There appear to be sort of chandeliers almost. They're very fancifully designed. However, Alita, you will immediately notice that the glowing sort of bulb inside of it is a
Rat with the light spell cast on it.
almost. It is a bioluminescent fruit, common in the Feywild.
Is it just the one, or are there like several because it's a chandelier?
There's 3 coming from each chandelier. There's 3 chandeliers in this room.
Interesting.
Interesting?
Now, while I know you, Solinar, it would appear Vacus, or, interesting lineage. You, on the other hand...
that might be a sensitive topic right now for him.
Why can I not see your lineage? It seems hidden to me.
Mine?
One of the heads with a longer, droopier snout turns over. Yes, yours.
All right, rats of Nim. Maybe we chill out a little bit. It depends entirely on how you see lineage. I mean, either my parents are dead or dead to me, so it's really, whatever direction you want to go.
You hear the entire grouping of heads chuckle at this. No. It is not who is alive. It is where you have come from. It is very important to our families and to who we host to know where we have come from.
So Alita is going to kind of keep her face even, but she has had the immediate realization that the way that her dad is the king of stags, that is what is happening here, or at least that is her very firm theory. Because each of the animal archetypes has a Fey Lord. So she's like, oh no, this better not be a turf war. Her face stays very even, and she just turns and says, oh, I'm from the Glade of the Nymphs.
A nymph? You don't smell like a nymph.
I was raised in the presence of dragons and also dryads. And to be perfectly frank with you, I've been traveling for a really long time with some companions of variable hygienes.
Hey, we bathe more regularly than the average person. Weekly.
One of the most frontwards facing rat heads wrinkles its nose. Yes, I can smell the soap on you recently.
Well,
yes, the soap is the problem.
In fairness, we had to attend a big fancy get together recently, so
hence the outfits.
We had to We're actually changed out
that
of those
right. You guys
outfits.
changed. That's right. Look, man, we recorded this last like a few months ago. All right. I just want to still imagine Alita in her very pretty dress, but
Well,
she
very
wouldn't have
pretty
worn
dress,
it into this.
I was gonna say her very pretty dress is still accessible, but I know for a fact that neither Alita nor Solinar was climbing around inside sewers dressed fancy style.
Valid. Proceed.
What the hell?
An event, you said?
Yeah, it was interesting, but it,
was this the Aether Twine Ball, perhaps?
Yes.
It was. We weren't able to do everything at the ball that we were supposed to do before we had to make a rather rapid and unfortunate exit. And we actually had originally come out in search of music and a particular rooftop.
Well, there is music here, if that is what you seek.
Does he have like a little like choir of little rats in little like church robes who do like worship songs, but it's all about the Rat King?
Yes. As he snaps his finger, or as they snap their finger, a plural. This section of wall.
I snapped 3 fingers on the same hand, and I just didn't know I could do that, and I felt very cool for a minute.
You see a portion of the wall, several rats pull aside like curtains, and you see where the music has been coming from. There are several instruments, large and small, some of them rat-sized, some of them regular humanoid-sized, not limiting, but including a proper full upright bass, which 5 different rats are operating, creating all this music. And there is a several rats that look like they are getting ready for a sort of choir practice upon some pews made of balsa wood. It is serendipitous that you will have come from this event, as it was merely days before that I was able to make my way into this kingdom.
So this is all very new.
Someone left the door open, so I walked through.
That will do it.
When you say someone left the door open, do you mean like to another plane of existence?
Yes, I am sad to say my original kingdom in the Feywild was taken from me.
Alita's gonna look at Solinar and try to give it so that Solinar will see it, but the Rat King won't. The eyes of, I tried to get the waiter's attention by blinking in Morse code.
Why are you blinking so much?
I have something in my eye.
Here, let us get it out. You see several rats begin to like climb up towards you with
oh no, thank you. I don't want to
small tools.
Tom Cardy, please be on our podcast.
We know he listens. There's no way he doesn't.
At least one person in Australia does. I've seen.
Oh my God, it's Tom Cardy.
It has to be. I think that's the only person left.
That would make sense.
The one man left in Australia.